What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NolanTCG, and today we are back with another deck profile, and it is Evilswarrm. So this deck profile is pre-recorded. It is back in May. We've been messing around with this deck. It's like end of May, but they warp a lot, like they taco bend, the joys of Hobby League, and like we can't afford to keep this deck together much longer. The ban list is due start of June. It is like 3 days before the end of June, but I just want to get these. I want to get this deck pulled apart because they're bending quite a lot. If you do have any solutions on how to stop hidden arsenal cards from bending, comment them down below. I do need some advice on how to straighten these guys out. But as always, before we do get started, please do remember to hit that subscribe button if you are new here to the channel. We are always happy to have new people, and let's get into the deck profile. Okay, so starting us off with our bendy monster lineup, we have 3 copies of the bendy Evilswarrm Catasta. Your primary normal summon, just special summons from your hand, gets you into rank 4. Then we have the least bendy card of the deck, because it didn't come in Hidden Arsenal, is Evilswarrm Kirkion. Again, this card helps you set up rank 4 plays, like most of the other Evilswarms. Then we have Mandragora, sorry. This one special summons if your opponent controls a monster, so probably the best going second Evilswarm. Then we are playing 2 copies of Thunderbird. You can probably play this at 1, we just opted for 2. It comes up from time to time. And then finishing up for the Evilswarms, we are playing 3 copies of Heliotrope. Then, because we have the Heliotrope, we are playing 3 copies of the Rescue Rabbit. And then rounding out our monster lineup, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. These aren't completely necessary. You can switch these for any hand trap you'd like. Ideally, you may want to play Impermanence just because it is a trap card, but Ash Blossom's what we've gone with. Okay, next up we have the spell lineup, and it starts off with 3 copies of Pot of Desires. Oops, sorry, we'll arrange these a little bit better. We got 3 copies of the Pot of Desires. Then we have 3 copies of Allure. Everything's dark. You're going to be just able to resolve your Allures a lot. Then we have the 1 copy of Infestation Pandemic. We're only playing 1 Infestation card to search off the Ophion. Just because we don't want to have the Ophion have no materials. And then for the final card, 1 double or nothing, because we're playing Utopia Double. Okay, so next off we have our traps. We have tried to design this to be anti-Eldritch. Just the fact that they struggle to out Ophion without having activated hand effects. That means we are playing 3 copies of Mind Drain, just to stop the Golden Lord's in-hand effect from activating to pop off the card in the field. They have a really tough time like outing this and the Ophion. So we're playing a bunch of cards to protect against the Synchro package. If that Synchro package does get hit on the ban list, probably look at trimming the rest of these traps and figuring out what to go with. But we are playing 3 copies of Lost Wind and 3 copies of the new trap Titanicider. Both of these can reset. This card hurts probably the most against that Link kind of spammy package. Just the fact that you can hit the cards out of the extra deck, then they're going to have to go back to their extra deck next turn, so you can just reset it. And then the Lost Wind comboing off of that. They're always not going to get through their combo if you have at least 2 of them. Then finishing off our traps, we have 3 copies of the Mixed Max Rarity Solemn Judgment. Okay, now getting into the extra deck, starting us off, the main card that Eldritch struggles to out, and that is 3 copies of Ophion. Adamancipator has a little bit of trouble outing this card. They can't get into their Synchro plays, so they have to go through Link plays and Xyz plays. Does stop Block Dragon from hitting the board, so this can be very big on stopping that. But primarily it's just going to stop their Synchro plays and the Block Dragon. They are still going to be able to set up something. Then following that up, we have 1 copy of Ouroboros, 1 copy of Nightmare, and 1 copy of Bahamut. Then the last Evilswarrm in 1 copy of Exciton Knight. Then we have the 1 Dweller and 1 Tornado Dragon. The 1 Buguska as well for the last of our generic rank 4s. Then we have the Utopia Double package. Probably shouldn't have said the last of the generic rank 4s because this again is generic rank 4 good stuff. Then finishing off our links, we have two copies of Steel Swarm Origin. I'm going to say Evilswarrm, may as well be the same thing. You don't need to play 3 of this. This card's not as necessary as it used to be. This is effectively just going to be rank 4 control. But we do have the Boral Sword as a game ender in situations where the Utopia Double isn't the best option. And that will finish us up here on the tabletop. Please do stay tuned. We are now going to jump over onto Edo Pro and go through some simulations. Okay, I do apologize at this point. We aren't going to be jumping over to Edo Pro. I've just had some issues come up in life that need to be sorted. So we're going to end it here. So I do apologize for that. But as always, I have been Ben from NolanTCG, and have a good afternoon, everybody.